my darling Fumi Nation, how are you? How are we? My name is Fumidesaluvold. For those of you that are stopping by for the very first time, you are so very welcome indeed. Do we live? Do we love? This is by RAINE. No, that's not true for me. This, my darling, was a thrift store buy. Yep. And then the pants, my darlings, is by RAINE. So if I turn it around for you, you can see that it's a zip, and then it's got like a drop, you know, pant there in the back, and that's what we're working with. Well, it seems that Jeannie Mai and Jeezy are really heading for a divorce. Action speaks louder than words. Jeannie Mai has dropped her married name on Instagram, and she's gone back to her maiden name, and she is simply Jeannie Mai. As a matter of fact, on Instagram she is the Jeannie Mai. It is what it is, guys, and I think that she has made peace with it. I think she made peace with it before she started to do her promo tour for the new talk show that she's doing. Well, it's not necessarily a talk show, it's a game show called Raid the Cage, and she had talked about how you can win a Birkin in raiding the cage, and I'm happy for her that she's got something to do to take her mind off of what is going on. And like I said, you know, I wish her the very best. I wish her daughter the very best. I think little baby Coco is in a wonderful space. The parents, I believe, are mature enough to focus on her as the priority in all of this. And what's the point? She's accepted it. And I think that's a very healthy stance to take, because the divorce is going ahead. I think that perhaps she's tried to salvage this marriage, and she can see that there's no salvaging of this marriage. It's time to go and move on with one's life. So don't leave, you know, it's like a snag. You know, sometimes it happens to me where your nail is kind of split and you're trying to file it down so that you can remove the split end, but it catches on something again. And there comes a time when you make peace with it. You're going to lose that nail, and you get your scissors and you just clip it off. And there's a sense of release after that, because you are holding on to something that's not holding on to you, that has been unplugged from the wall. So she just got rid of the married name. What's the point? I'm Jeannie Mai. Here we go. Here we go. I'm Jeannie Mai. I have invested in that name. I have monetized that name. I built a career out of that name. It was never the Jenkins. The Jenkins was personal. The Jenkins was me. The Jenkins was that I was married to the man that I declare my man. But if he doesn't want that, why am I holding on to Jenkins when Mai is bringing in the coin? I was like, ooh. Right across on the other ranch where the horses are saying, hey, we had Jeezy, who was on the Tamron Hall show, and he made it boom back clear. We go straight ahead. I was like, ooh. Ooh. Yes, it is. He also, what? He also gave us a little, what you call, post-it. That's what I call it. Public service announcement. That's how I look at it. And he came through with 1 or 2 words. And that even solidified everything that has gone on. Because, you know, he was thinking about the divorce in June, and he only actually acted upon it in September. The rapper, who is 46, released this statement. This was from People magazine, about the decision he had, and the host of The Real, who is also now the host of Raid the Cage, 44, so 2 of them are in their 40s, made to end their marriage after 2.5 years. It is just so short. 2.5 years. I remember when I was married for 2.5 years, it just felt like months. You were still in the honeymoon stage, in the deep honeymoon stage. 2.5 years. Oh, wow. Anyway, it goes to say, this is his statement, Jeezy's statement, of which he released after this long spell. Because remember, he released something on his Instagram talking about he's going in this direction and it doesn't matter who's going with him. This is what he wants for himself. Loosely based, not exact. And ever since then, this is what we've gotten from him. 1 and 2. The second being, the decision to end this chapter in my life was not made impulsively. and comes with a heavy heart. Guilt. I'm under the impression that would be Coco, that he would have tried to stay, he would have wanted to stay for his daughter. But again, you know, for me, don't stay for the kids if it's a toxic environment. It can't be toxic. It has to be healthy. And in all fairness, Jeezy deserves happiness just as much as Jeannie. They deserve happiness. And if they could not find that happiness with each other, they got the right to go. It goes on to say that the decision was not made impulsively and comes with a heavy heart, the Grammy-nominated artist said. Despite this, my love and respect for Jeannie remains, and the time we spent together holds a cherished place in my heart. You know, yesterday I covered, and I made the mistake over there too, Jamie and Nikki. They are OG influencers. They were a married couple and everything really went left and right. And Jamie came out with a tell-all explosive 1 hour 23-minute video. Needless to say, it was a lot to unpack. And I was just thinking it would have been nice if perhaps the two of them, Nikki and Jamie, had taken this route. But again, Jeezy is 46. I think Jamie just turned 40 and Nikki is 33, 34, something like that. So that was what he said, that, you know, it's with a heavy heart. And Jeezy, whose real name is J. Wayan Jenkins, also referred to his daughter Monaco, whom he and the TV personality welcomed in January of 2022, just last year. He says, our beautiful daughter is the best gift from our relationship, and I am committed to assuring she feels the love and stability she deserves. What did I say? You know, it takes some time for the dust to settle. It's all charged. And we don't know whose camp released this. Or, actually, did any camp release this? Who's to say? People really know you. And they go about and they do a little too much. And they could have released it. We will never know. And let us bear in mind that just perhaps nobody released this. And so it was an unexpected thrust into the stratosphere of popularity, up top of their popularity and their celebrity. Maybe they weren't ready for this. So the dust has settled, and he's saying to himself, upon reflection, okay, fine, you know, we didn't get along. And time heals. Oh, time heals. And I pray, God, that everybody comes out the other side where you are much more reflective upon the positive, because this is a very nice statement Jeezy is putting out so far as I'm reading. Needless to say, he says, during this period, I kindly request that you respect our family's privacy as we focus on healing, the hip-hop star statement concludes. Jeezy filed for divorce from Mai Jenkins on the 14th of September in Atlanta, Georgia. According to documents obtained by People, the filing says the former couple is currently living in a bona fide state of separation and that their marriage is irretrievably broken with no hope of reconciliation. The pair, who began quietly dating in 2018 before tying the knot in March of 2021, had a prenuptial agreement in place per the documents. According to the documents, the put-on rapper wants to share joint legal custody of their daughter. The recording artist is also the father of 2 other children. He and Tanisha Dyke welcomed their son Jadairas in 1996 and a daughter, Amara Noor. Ooh, what a name, beautiful. Amra. Is it Amra? Amra Noor. Amra Noor was born in 2014 to him and his then partner Mahlet Mai Gabredilin. Correct me in the comment section. I know I butchered it. Mai Jenkins recently broke her silence about the divorce as well. Last week, the former makeup artist posted to Instagram to share a statement. The star posted a photo of handwriting in a notebook that read, "Sometimes you need to take a deep breath, disconnect, and to heal." God bless them. On Tuesday, Jeezy spoke out about how he was unknowingly struggling with depression and anxiety for years during an interview on the Tamron Hall show. I learned that vulnerability is power. The power of surrender, guys. The power of surrender. You have to be vulnerable. You have to let the universe take charge. And you have to find the power in the humility to say, I'm small and I need help and I'm flawed. I always talk about it. I'm flawed and I am not perfect. And once you let go, oh, it is such a release. And I'm happy for him that he's having this, because there are a lot of us out there that don't know that you need therapy because of the mental handicap that you've been carrying. He goes on to say, I thought something was wrong with me, thinking I came from poverty. This is just how it is. What a shame. What a shame to think that you came from poverty and so, you're not good enough, or it can never be for you, or it can never happen for you, or the poverty follows your life and you feel as if you're never good enough. It's not true. You can be poor and still be so wealthy. Wealthy in love, wealthy in confidence, wealthy in knowing who you are, wealthy in being honest, and wealthy in knowing that you did the best that you could with what you had, because not everybody gets equal opportunity. And that's why I always come from a stance of gratitude. I am so grateful for everything, because I know that my sister might not get what I've got, or my brother on the other side. And when you come from gratitude, you really now amass all that you have, because you see all of your gifts that you didn't see, because we are always looking at what we don't have, as opposed to be grateful for what we do have. And health, oh my God, it's number one. I didn't understand trauma and all these different things. So when I started to get the words for it, I started to understand and grab tools. I started to become better, he continued. I started my journey, and that's why I'm expressing it and I'm putting it in the book, because I didn't know I was depressed for about 8 years of my life straight. And in a sense, I think he felt robbed. That had I gotten treatment, had I educated myself and felt, because I've heard this, that in the black community it's not spoken about enough. How can it not be, when I feel that we have been really traumatized the most? You need therapy. You need therapy. It's healthy. It's so healthy. I recommend it. I do. And you become free and you are liberated. And on that note, I'll say this. Jeezy, Jeannie, the best of luck to the two of you. The best of luck to the two of you. And I believe that you can continue to thrive and be great, great people in this world that we all share and love. And may you truly find your love. If you didn't find it in each other, at least be good friends and be grateful to each other for Coco. Coco is priceless. Coco is so cute. She's so cute. I absolutely love her. So yes, my darlings, we're jumping from one breakup to another. I mean, this is becoming the breakup therapy channel. That's how I feel. Lupita in Nyong'O is going through it. I said how? On her Instagram, of how many million? 10.8 million. She says, there are much more important things going on in the world right now, and my thoughts are with those who are deeply suffering. 100%. At this moment, it's necessary for me to share a personal truth and publicly disassociate myself from someone I no longer trust. Haha, Lupita. I find myself in a season of heartbreak because of a love suddenly and devastatingly extinguished by deception, cheating. I'm under the impression I am tempted to run into the shadows and hide, only to return to the light when I have regained my strength enough for me to say, whatever, my life is better this way. But I am reminded that the magnitude of the pain I am feeling is equal to the measure of my capacity for love. Hence, there is a thin line between love and hate. You can love somebody so much, and when it splits you in half, right down to your spleen, somewhere the sweet poison of hatred can erupt like a volcano. True facts. The promise, they say, is that a tender heart is what gives birth to fearlessness. I hope it's true. I share this to keep it 100 and hope that the knowledge of my experience might be useful to someone else out there experiencing the grip of heartbreak, who is poised to try and escape from the pain and miss out on the wisdom that comes from it. Hashtag breakup. Let's face our pain so we don't spread it. Lupita, I'm hugging you. I'm sending you a hug, my baby sis. I did not know, and I am sorry that you are going through this. I don't know what's in the air. I don't know what kind of season is this. But it's not working out for a lot of people. Let us send them our love, our light, our positivity, our strength, because they need that to lean on until they become strong, healthy, and happy again. It happened to me. I've talked about this so many times. And I remember I went home and I was exhausted. I was so exhausted. And I began to clean out my flat, or my apartment, should I say, because it was in California. I was just so beaten down, I felt, because I went from one bad relationship after another relationship after another relationship. And I just had to self-reflect, and I had to take my time, and I wept and I cried, and I said, Fumi, you're going to have to work on you. You're going to have to really start to love you. You're going to stop giving out yourself in time, emotionally, physically, mentally. You're going to have to stop, and you have to pour all of this love that you're giving to the wrong people into you, and find out why you are making the same mistake repeatedly. Because there comes a time when it's not them, it's you. You cannot be the one always heartbroken. You're doing something wrong, or you're not really going and looking directly at the issues. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't cover it up. Don't excuse it away. Don't cover up parts of him to cover up other red flag parts of him. Take it head on. It's so hard. But when I tell you, it's as if you go into the sea. It's as if you go into the sea and it's all washed away. But it takes time. And you begin to really love yourself. You begin to start getting proud of yourself. And you just take it day by day. You have to work, occupy yourself. That's what was good for me. Occupy yourself. So I went to work. I was doing a lot of extra work. So I called my agent. I was at Central Casting, but I had a couple of friends over there, and they always asked me, Fumi, do you want to do extra days? I just did extra days, and I went to UCLA, and it was the best thing. The first 2 weeks was very intense because it's like a drug. I would want to look at the phone to see, did he call? And if he didn't, my heart would sink, you know. And I would leave my phone at home sometimes when I knew I just wasn't strong enough. Or I would get up out of the house. I would do things like that. And I would go and hang out with my friends so that I wasn't alone, because your mind would start wandering. And the first 2 weeks were tough. And then after that, I began to get some kind of strength. And I'll tell you this real quick. One day I came home late, and he was outside waiting for me in his car. When I tell you, I was so proud of myself that I didn't reach out to him, and he came looking for me. And I was happy to see him, but I pretended not to. And I think I wanted to see him one last time, to really just take him all in and just look at him. And it wasn't the same. He was a little bit smaller. He just wasn't, the sparkle had gone. I just wasn't attracted to him the way I was, and that little thing in your tummy had gone. And that was when I knew I was over him. And I was very civilized, and I wished him the best. I still do. But I was happy. I had removed myself from that bondage, and I moved on. And I thrived. All of my love, my darlings. I wish you all of the best.